Well, guys, we really need to talk because Legend Broly is a problem. Legend Broly is a freaking problem. As you guys know, this meta is just a full-on timer count meta, and I feel like people are, including me, are more upset is because we literally just had a timer count meta and the problems keep on piling on and they have not fixed anything. So basically this Legend Broly is a Buuhan. Obviously you probably guys know already, but he's basically a Buuhan that can tank everything. But it's majority his fault that we have a timer count meta. But it's also not fully him, I have to get into those other things too. But Legend Broly, it has certain things that should not exist, and I feel like a little go against the design philosophy and all that good stuff. First off, the first thing I'm going to talk about in this kit, we have this. Where is it? And it's not, believe it or not, it's not the auto counter. It's this. Unique gauge counter type. When unique gauge becomes full, cancel attribute downgrades at normal conditions. And then seal enemy rising rush for 15 counts. Whoops. Of course it went away. But 15 counts of sealing your rising rush. Okay. And then 15 counts of sealing your main abilities. That is that's too much. It's too long. And it's basically 30 counts because he will transform and the gauge will fill again. So it's the same thing. So it's 30 counts of sealing your rush and your main abilities. And if you go back to last year, whenever they made that what was it, the letter talking about like the design philosophy and all that good stuff, they mentioned that they would not make egregious disrupts and different ways like combos long, all that good stuff. But this is an egregious freaking disrupt. This is so egregious. 15 counts is so much. It is so much. And then you pile on the fact that he has a counter gauge. Then you pile on the fact that he has guard. Then you pile on the fact that he has endurance. Then you pile on the fact that he can tank everything. It doesn't make sense, dude. It really, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. But just going off of, I'm gonna go back to Broly in a second, but getting off of Broly, he's not the full reason why the meta is the way it is. Because prior to this, we had this guy that was very oppressive and actually kind of sped up the meta. The meta was timer count, I would say it was like 70% not timer count, 30% timer count, because this guy would hurt Broly pretty bad. But it was still semi timer count meta. But we got this buff over here, this guy, and when he came out, it basically just removed Vegito from the meta in a way, and it kind of just made the meta even worse in terms of like timer counts. Because I know nobody likes playing the game just going to timer. I feel like that's something that you wouldn't want to do. I genuinely don't feel any like satisfaction really when I win like that, and it becomes more stressful because you actually never really truly know if you actually win until you actually get to that point. So you could be doing everything in your power, you think that you might win, but you really don't, and you could be winning, like you could just be one character off from killing them and you still could lose the damage. It doesn't make sense. Timer count meta should not exist ever. And obviously I don't think they were intending to make timer count metas when they first released this game, because before there was less timer counts. There was not 180, there was like, I believe it was 150. I wasn't playing the game at the time, but I've watched videos and seen things. It was 150, I believe. And there was some meta that made it become 180. But obviously this guy isn't the main culprit of it, but he made it worse. He made the timer count meta worse. But it really just comes down to the freaking Legend Broly. Because first of all, he's just getting partners left and right. He already has Nab G. He has Ultra Gogeta Blue. He has the Red Broly. I don't know if I said that already. He has Yellow Goku Black. He has 13. He has probably the Zenkai coming up again. Who else is really good? Red Blue Rose. He has the entire. I'm pretty sure the entire threshold of the top 10 list that I made, besides maybe like Ultra Trunks or just Ultra Trunks, you can run with Broly. He has so many teams. And then somebody like Ultra Gogeta Blue, he has a lot of teams right now, but I think in the long run he's gonna be kind of a more hard to run in the long run, believe it or not. But I mean, obviously just running with Broly, but to me, this Broly really feels like a Majin Vegeta. Not as bad as Majin Vegeta, I don't think, but very close to Majin Vegeta, annoying and like toxic in a way. People obviously are annoyed by him, but they're not feeling. I don't think they're feeling the full fatigue from him yet because he's still a brand new character. Obviously, you see, I don't have him, but I would still make this video even if I had him, because everything that the game has is not even, like I said, it's also not even just fully Broly. It's making it to where you get priority and you get punished for it. So let's talk about supporters here. Supporters play a big, important, annoying role into this. There's Yajirobe, that's very prevalent in the meta, and that stops your combo. There's Son Gohan, Kid Gohan, that stops your combo. There's Super Saiyan Vegeta stops your combo if you're running an Android. And then there's but I mean that's GT, but he also stops combos. There's Tora, and then there's Tora that stops your combo as well if you're fighting a full PO team. So that it's just a disrupt in itself. So we already have that as annoying to begin with, and then also there's so much buff removal. There's too much buff removal. We have team-wide buff removal with Blue Goku Black. He removes buffs from the whole entire team. That is so ridiculous. And then Yellow Goku Black as well also plays a part with that because he removes buffs from Blues on standby 3 times. So everything is piling up. I mean, like I said, the main culprit is Broly because he's doing the majority of the annoying, dumb stuff. Seeing the main, seeing the Rise and Rush, the auto counters, the guard, not being able to die, having endurance. He's so egregiously annoying, but the other characters are not helping either because they have certain mechanics that flesh so well together, but to make a horrible, annoying meta. Like, I wouldn't go as far to say this is like an extremely bad meta. It's just, it feels like it's getting to a point where they might get out of hand and it may be hard to fix it in the future, which is obviously not what I want it to be like we go into part 2. I'm praying there's a character both the characters, who knows, it might even be 2 characters, who knows, but if the characters make it so where the meta just becomes faster, because we literally just came out of right before the anniversary we had a Time to Come meta. So it's starting to show that there's a bit of a trend that there's too many second life mechanics. There's too many ways to not die. Because, like, I mean, there's Bardock with Indestructible, there's Buhan with his auto counter gauges, and then obviously the endurances on every single freaking character. So they're gonna have to make a character to reset the game, I think, at this point, because if they continue with the way they're going, it's just gonna be a Timer Come meta for the rest of the anniversary beyond. And they're gonna have to make another design philosophy thing, but the thing is, the design philosophy they made, they're not even following it, to be honest. But Legend Broly, he's just a Majin Vegeta, but a defense unit, basically. Defense version of Majin Vegeta. That's what he kind of is. He's such a fed unit. Like, there's too many ways to stop your combo. And then also, I forgot to mention, there's also card destruction everywhere. Blue Rose is definitely the most notable one to do that. And we have the Ultra Gogeta Blue with his, when you attack him the first time, increase arts cost, and then he increases your sub counts. So there's just way too many disrupts to make you stop, because stopping and meta in these metas makes the matches longer, leading to a timer count meta, and then just continuous disrupts, man. It's annoying, but this is more of a Broly kind of rant, I guess, because he's like the main guy, but it's also like a whole game rant at the same time, because the whole meta has every character has some sort of disrupt right now, and it's a bit unnecessary. There has to be a character that they release somehow, some way that resets the meta, and I hope it's the Zenkai. I will be very happy because I want this to be done already. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of just not being able to use my main abilities for basically a quarter of the damn match, and then also just not being able to attack or do anything because I know that I'm gonna get auto countered, and then I could get hit with a blue card. So I know that my get priority is for nothing really, because he's just gonna punish me for getting priority. It makes no fucking sense, dude. It's so weird to me. But hey, man, hopefully Part 2 gives us like a powerhouse character, like a Blue Beast Gohan or something. Part 2, worst case scenario, Part 3, which probably the most likely thing I think is probably Part 3 that's gonna reset the meta. But we need something to make this meta more fast, because we're heading into a point where every single meta in the future is going to be speed timer count meta. So we need a fix. We need it soon. We need it very soon. So this is the video for now, but hopefully it doesn't get out of hand. Let me know what you guys think, man. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.